Coming up on AgweekTV, a look at how May's heavy rains are affecting growers around the region now. More and more ranchers are using artificial insemination for their cattle. We'll tell you why it's so popular. And we'll meet a farm couple easing out of the business with an unusual arrangement to help a young couple start farming. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Shauna Olson. Weather continues to dominate the conversation around the region as farmers try to wrap up planting in the wake of heavy rains. Farmers had mostly good rains in May, according to the National Ag Statistics Service, although some places have gone from too dry to excess water. Many farmers haven't finished planting soybeans, but most are not behind the 5-year averages. Among the wettest areas in the region are eastern Stutsman and western Barnes counties of North Dakota, and that's where this week's crop stop takes us. Mikkel Pates caught up with Larry Steidel of Fingal in Barnes County. He's among those who started off dry and got most of his planting done early, but now he's had 5 inches of rain.
It was a nice rain throughout. You know, none of it came down real fast, but it was just so much of it that came. And then, of course, it was cool out and everything. And so basically our moisture is good right now.
Now, Steidel is starting to worry about getting his soybeans planted. It must be done by June 10th. And after that, growers lose 1% a day off the crop insurance coverage. Mikkel's next crop stop is Ypsilanti, North Dakota in Stutsman County. Tony Rorda got his small greens and corn in and had just started beans when they got more than 8 inches of rain in 10 days. Rorda estimates he lost about 30% of his land to water and doubts he'll be able to replant most of it.
On the grain side, it's going to be tough to make a profit now, especially with the less acres with the water. But the cattle side, it's a strong market that's kind of helping pull the farm through.
Rorda hopes some of his lost acres will qualify for prevent plant insurance. We rolled out to Buffalo, North Dakota recently, where we caught up with Peterson Farm Seed as they planted one of their many test plots. Sales manager Mike Larson, who also works in corn genetics, says they have 81 test plots around the region and use them as learning centers. This plot includes 83 to 92-day maturity corn and some competitors' crosses. He says they like to see how their varieties perform as well as the competition's.
Well, there's some new stuff in here we have, along with our standards. Just, compare, we're always, it's like a football team, you're always looking to get better players on your team. That's the goal. Pretty confident in our lineup right now, though. I'm really excited about it.
Also doing test plot work recently was Breckenridge, Minnesota-based New Seed. Station manager Jeremy Klumper was planting sunflower hybrids. They're working on everything from oil content in oil seed lines to seed size in confections, also to disease resistance. Klumper says it takes 6 to 8 years to get a hybrid on the market.
So part of our research is replicated yield trial testing, and so we have literally thousands of hybrids out here, and we replicate them multiple times at this location, but then at other locations as well, to provide a solid data set to see how that hybrid is going to perform across the growing environments that sunflowers have.
Klumper says they're also testing hybrids from around the world to see how they perform here, along with sorghum that has early genetics. The U.S. continues to grapple with the biggest outbreak of bird flu on record. Several new cases have been reported this week in 3 states. So far, it's claimed 40 million birds in 16 states and Canada. In Minnesota, nearly 8 million birds are affected. A local professor was asked for his expertise in disposing of the diseased birds using compost piles. Reporter Tracy Frank joins us now with more. Tracy?
Shauna, Shafiqur Rahman is an associate professor and researcher in NDSU's Department of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering. He's an expert in waste management and air and water quality. Shafiqur Rahman helped with the disposal of more than 100,000 turkeys and chickens affected by highly pathogenic avian influenza on 2 North Dakota farms in Dickey and Lemoore counties. Composting is recommended because many states don't have an incinerator and don't allow burials due to shallow water tables. Composting is also done on site, so nothing leaves the property.
Then you can minimize the biosecurity concern.
The compost piles are made up of an 18-inch to 2-foot base layer of dry carbon source, like sawdust, oat chips, or sunflower hulls. The birds are placed on top of that layer and covered with another 18 inches to 2 feet of carbon source to ensure nothing is exposed and to help filter out odors.
For microbes, like human being, they also need some food. The carbon is their food. Oxygen is also their food. So they need carbon, oxygen, also the moisture content. So whenever we have optimum condition, then the temperature will go up.
Producers can use carbon sources such as manure or bedding they already have, making the disposal less expensive. And at the end of proper composting, Rahman says farmers have an organic fertilizer they can use. The entire composting process takes 3 to 4 months. The North Dakota Agriculture Department's Animal Health Division has been working with the USDA to dispose of the infected birds. They're killed by gathering them into a small space and spraying firefighting foam, which suffocates the animals. Deputy State Veterinarian Beth Carlson says it's considered one of the most humane ways to kill large numbers of birds quickly in a disease outbreak, and it's safe for the environment and the people involved.
Despite the threat of bird flu, Amos Bear of Bear Poultry near Lake Park, Minnesota, is moving forward with plans to expand his feedlot. His operation is located near Bear Brothers, where chickens tested positive for the avian flu virus last month and had to be euthanized. Bear says they're now operating under a tight biosecurity plan. Bear Poultry Company, which raises pullets, is constructing a building that will house up to 200,000 chicks. The new building will boast a more environmentally friendly air drying manure system. Bear expects it to go up around the 1st of June and hopes to populate it with chicks in August. Artificial insemination is becoming a lot more popular these days. We'll take a look at why next on AgweekTV.
Tightline Drainage is the Red River Valley's most trusted name for tile. Tightline uses the Port Hydromax plow and also Port Hydromax trenchers for installing our laterals and main line accurately. The science behind drain tile proves healthier plant growth and greater yields. Tightline Drainage also sells pipes, fittings, tiling plows, landau tillage equipment, and more. Tightline Drainage is owned and operated by experienced agricultural professionals who understand the need for progressive agricultural practices. Call Tightline Drainage for a free drainage design today at 701-235-1900.
Ag Systems, Inc., your fertilizer application headquarters, has been serving Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan for 50 years. We carry a complete inventory of new and used sprayers and floaters, Tyler fertilizer tenders from 10 to 24 tons, nurse tanks, fertilizer spreaders up to 8 ton, NH3 wagons, Schneider vertical, horizontal, and cone bottom storage tanks, and a full line of fertilizer plumbing and repair parts. Call 800-582-4269 or visit agsystemsonline.com.
Say goodbye to expensive window treatments and Saturdays filled with dusting. Minn Kota Windows offers blinds between the glass and select window styles and sliding patio doors. With low-E glass, they're even more energy efficient. They're easy to operate, have a clean, efficient look, and control privacy, light, and heat. And the best part is, they're safe for kids and pets. Blinds between the glass from Minn Kota Windows. Midwest built, Midwest tough, guaranteed for life.
Minn Kota Windows, windows for your world.
Most people think all big business takes place in big cities. But they're wrong, because even though the boardrooms may not be as plush, our small towns and rural communities are the home of the biggest business of all, feeding the world's 7 billion people. We take our responsibility seriously when it comes to the corn hybrids and soybean varieties that make our lineup. Peterson Farm Seed. Stand tall.
AgweekTV, presented by Peterson Farm Seed.
Artificial insemination is growing in popularity among ranchers. We traveled to Arthur, North Dakota to find out why it's becoming more of a way of life for those with cattle.
Today is the day I knew I needed to pull out my cowboy boots. It's like a scene out of the TV show Dirty Jobs. Let's just say there's a couple things needed. A straw and a glove that goes all the way from your hand up to your armpit.
John Brager, known as JB for short, is working his cattle.
Oh, well, see, with all the hair we take off, we should make an extra heifer.
Today, they're artificially inseminating his heifers.
Well, I buy heifers during the winter and put them in the feedlot up here at Dale Lincoln's by Arthur.
Then, in the spring, he and his talented crew synchronize and breed them. Dale Lincoln is trained in this area and has the dirty job out here.
I've always enjoyed working with cattle, and this is a little more challenging, you know. This is what they call a straw. This is what contains the semen. There's a mixture of semen and egg white.
The straws, full of the goods, are stored in a refrigerator of liquid nitrogen at 273 degrees below zero. It's thawed in warm water, loaded up.
All right, now we'll lube up.
And then the magic begins.
It makes you feel good because you can use semen from the very best bulls in the world. And those genetics can really help your herd. And yeah, you know, it kind of gives you the power to improve your herd fast.
It's a good thing I am pregnant, because otherwise you guys are going to make me try this today. But I have an excuse not to.
And even though this is serious business,
The first graders were supposed to draw something on the blackboard.
in good old JB fashion,
Said, that's my house.
he is constantly entertaining us with his jokes.
Little Lucy,
Some not suitable for TV.
little Mary.
Actually, none are suitable for this episode.
We'd hate for our episode to be beep, 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 beep. Sound like the Morse code.
As you can imagine, artificial insemination is more labor-intensive than conventional practices.
There's a lot of work with this artificial insemination and synchronizing because you got to run them through the chute 3 times in 10 days. Ready?
And because of the extra handling, maybe a bit more dangerous too.
Last night I got kicked and I'm still hurting, but I'm moving better than I thought I would be.
But for JB, it's worth it.
Otherwise, for this many heifers, I'd have to have 12 to 15 bulls. I've got 212 heifers this year that I'm breeding.
JB's been a cattleman all his life.
I got into cattle when I was still in grade school. And I just liked the animals. My brother liked to be in the dirt, and I liked to be in the barnyard. Get her in there.
And it's the same story with Dale, the breeder. He's had cattle for years, and he's been practicing the art of AI for 30 of them. Once the AI process is over, heifers will spend some time with the bulls.
Sorry, ladies, but in a couple weeks you might not be feeling so well. Trust me. Take it from me.
Then JB will sell them, and some are already spoken for.
I don't cab anything out anymore. I gotten too old for that. Makes you wonder how many years he can do it. And I keep trying.
How long do you think you'll go?
I don't know, till 96.
Up next on AgweekTV, meteorologist John Wheeler has your agri-weather outlook for the week. And later, how a Fargo business is working to control the weather and reduce hail damage.
Food department, line 1, please.
The right tool for the job could be a pair of Ariat boots. Pull-on safety toe protection with an available waterproof barrier for all-day comfort. Ariat is a customer favorite because they add design to their gear, never sacrificing function or safety. And we always have the guaranteed lowest price. Ariat flame-resistant work shirts, jackets, and jeans are some of the most durable you'll find. They work on the job site at Uptown Saturday night.
Home of economy, where your dollar buys more.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a corn stalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs in the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Most people think all big business takes place in big cities. But they're wrong, because even though the boardrooms may not be as plush, our small towns and rural communities are the home of the biggest business of all, feeding the world's 7 billion people. We take our responsibility seriously when it comes to the corn hybrids and soybean varieties that make our lineup. Peterson Farm Seed. Stand tall.
Who could imagine 100 years ago we'd have come this far, when the prairies of the Dakotas were first broken and seeded? As a global leader in seed technology, New Seed is continually looking forward with a world-renowned team of experts dedicated to utilizing the industry's most advanced market research and state-of-the-art molecular technology lab. We're developing cutting-edge breeding techniques that deliver opportunity for today's grower where it matters most. We're New Seed, the next generation of seed.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
AgweekTV weather is brought to you by Kaler Farms.
Welcome to the weather portion of Ag Week. Obviously, the drought has ended across the northern plains, but an interesting side of that, let's take a look at the U.S. Drought Monitor here in the northern plains, still showing some areas of moderate drought in northern Minnesota. That's our current drought monitor graph. However, you must bear in mind that this was made midweek, and so it does not reflect the fairly substantial rains which fell on Minnesota on Thursday and Thursday night. So basically, the drought has ended for all practical purposes in the northern plains. In fact, the one region of the country that still is very, very dry is California. Most of the central and southern plains have seen drought conditions come to an end. So what do you expect from the weather now this upcoming week? Well, there may be a few spotty showers in California due to the jet stream coming on shore there, but the southern jet fairly weak this time of year. The main thing that's happening is that an evolving weather pattern should end this ongoing heavy rain round after round from Oklahoma into Texas. There may still be a few more thunderstorms here this week, especially early in the week, but I am anticipating that that will come to an end. In fact, they should dry out nicely. For the rest of the nation, a little bit of developing high pressure ridge this week should bring warm temperatures to the northern plains by the weekend, and looking ahead into next week, it may remain relatively warm. I don't think it will be completely void of moisture, but I do expect to see that little bit of change. I also expect to see a return to fairly dry conditions over portions of the southeast as well, especially the Carolinas, which have remained quite dry this season. So here's what we're looking at for our forecast. Here in the northern plains, it will still be somewhat stormy with some storms expected midweek, although they'll be a bit more scattered and a little less widespread, I think. A little more typical of June, but we will see some localized heavy rains with those. Also, the central plains, the southern part of the Midwest will get some storms. Texas, Oklahoma will begin to dry out. And it looks like as we head into the full first week of June, we will see a return to warmer weather in the plains. I'm not saying this area will be void of rainfall. I just don't see anything extraordinary about it. The wettest areas, I think, will be the Northeast and Florida, and there will be some stormy conditions down over the parts of the southern Rockies. So here it is detailed place by place. Throughout the Corn Belt this week, still looking fairly wet. Then it should begin to settle down. In the southern part of the country, Texas and Oklahoma gets dry and then dry and warm. So basically a return to summer weather for the southern plains, just in time for the winter wheat harvest, whatever there is that wasn't damaged by storms. Scattered thunderstorms, some of them heavy here in the northern plains this week. However, next week is looking warmer and drier with some potentially hot weather back to our west in Montana. The rest of the world, there are some issues, but basically Russia, just a few dry pockets. Scattered rains in China mean favorable conditions, and the monsoon is finally returning to the Indian subcontinent this week.
I'm home. Coming home from a hard day's work is usually when the real fun begins, and that's okay, After all, spending time with those who matter most is why you work so hard in the first place. At Home of Economy, your work gear headquarters, you'll find top-selling brands like Carhartt, known for comfort, durability, and a style and fit for everyone. Whether you need workwear, casual wear, or anywhere in between, find your Carhartts at the guaranteed lowest price. Only at Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more.
Ag Systems Inc., your fertilizer application headquarters, has been serving Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan for 50 years. We carry a complete inventory of new and used sprayers and floaters, Tyler fertilizer tenders from 10 to 24 tons, nurse tanks, fertilizer spreaders up to 8 ton, NH3 wagons, Schneider vertical, horizontal and cone bottom storage tanks, and a full line of fertilizer plumbing and repair parts. Call 800-582-4269 or visit agsystemsonline.com.
We deliver innovative, American-made products that provide unmatched reliability, unparalleled performance, and an impeccable quality of cut. We don't expect everyone to understand our obsession with building the best, to be the best, but our customers understand. We are SCAG, simply the best.
Visit North Country Marketing in West Fargo or northcountrymarketing.biz.
It's time to demand more. With Micro Essentials, you get more from every acre. Through our fusion technology, only Micro Essentials combines 4 vital nutrients into one powerful granule, ensuring uniform nutrient distribution and increased nutrient uptake. The innovation behind our fusion technology means you'll grow stronger, healthier plants. Micro Essentials. Get more from every acre.
When it comes to choosing a new RV, the selection at Rough Rider RVs in Dickinson and Beulah stands head and shoulders above other dealers. Not only does Rough Rider carry all the major brands, they have every kind of fifth wheel, bumper pull, toy hauler, and travel trailer in stock on the lot for you to tour, experience all the features, and choose the one that's right for you. Rough Rider RVs gives you more choices and backs your purchase with unmatched customer service. So if you're shopping or even just thinking about an RV, you've got to see Rough Rider RVs.
AgweekTV Tech, brought to you by New Seed.
Weather is one of the most important things in a farmer's life, but it may surprise you to know the world's largest weather modification company is in Fargo. While most pilots are warned to stay away from thunderstorms, these 13 flyers will spend the next 3 to 6 months flying up close and personal with a mission to help and protect crops and property. Aaron Berner explains.
WMI Chief Pilot Jody Fisher checks a plane that will soon be sent to Alberta to continue a mission to reduce hail damage to property. It's paid for by insurance companies. The aircraft has been modified for cloud seeding.
This is our burn-in-place flare.
These flares attached to its wings and belly are filled with silver iodide. They can be controlled from the cockpit.
When we push a button, it ignites it, it pops it out, and it goes into the cloud, it mixes, and burns up.
Silver iodide is an artificial ice nuclei which is distributed near clouds and thunderstorms. It works as a starting point so water can freeze to it and eventually fall, encouraging rain or snow and reducing hail, depending on the situation.
Clouds on their own are pretty inefficient. If you look at the natural science of how they work, they need some sort of nuclei in the cloud for the water to attach to.
Aside from Alberta, WMI has contracts across the country, with pilots working in western North Dakota, Idaho, Nevada, Wyoming, and California. Still, the company regularly gets calls and emails, and even occasional visits from conspiracy theorists and people who Fisher says don't understand what cloud seeding is, some calling it a government conspiracy.
It ranges from anything you can think of, you know, that we're controlling all the weather. We're only affecting individual clouds. We can't control mass weather patterns.
Because without water or clouds, Fisher says there's nothing they can do. He says they've had a lot of interest from California because of their massive drought, but clear skies means no cloud seeding.
If you could just make it rain whenever you want, how much you want, in the right spot all the time, I mean, we'd be a lot busier.
The company that provides the flares, Ice Crystal Engineering, is located in Kindred, North Dakota. Farming is one of the toughest businesses to get into, especially if you're not joining a family operation. Up next, we'll meet a couple getting ready to retire, helping a young couple take over.
When there's work to be done, water and mud can't stand in your way. So plow right through in a pair of muck boots from Home of Economy. Made from neoprene and heavy-duty rubber, muck boots are designed for total comfort with a snug fit and built-in arch support. So you stay dry and strong on your feet. And with options like steel toe and Arctic insulation, you'll always find the right muck boots at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a cornstalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs in the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
At Kubota, value means getting more than you expected for less than you thought. That's exactly what you get with Kubota L-Series compact tractors. Forged from our proven design and quality materials, Kubota has been committed to building the industry's best compact tractors for decades. Visit your local Kubota dealer now for customer instant rebates of up to $3,000, plus get an additional $500 right now through June 30th. More for less. That's value. That's Kubota.
See the full line of Kubota at Acme Equipment, 3401 Gateway Drive, Grand Forks.
When it comes to sunflowers, I'm always looking for the best options for my farm, and New Seed is there to help. They're providing the next generation of seed and solutions for the challenges I face. New Seed uses global research to bring more opportunity to growers, not only helping create better products that have a direct impact on my farm, but also my bottom line. Now that's a partner I can trust.
We're New Seed, the next generation of seed.
Of course, you want to make the most of this year's crop. That's why you should attend the Conklin Pro Grower Day Friday, June 12th at Myers Farm in Colfax, North Dakota. Top growers will share how to achieve the genetic potential for your crops, increase yields, and maximize returns on investment. Learn from world record soybean producer Kip Cullers, NCGA national champion Jerry Cox, and Conklin owner and CEO Charles W. Herbster. Register today at ProGrowerDay.com, and we'll see you for Conklin Pro Grower Day. Closed captioning brought to you by Ultimate Spray.
Farming isn't an easy business to start, but one couple ready to retire is helping a young couple take over their dairy operation. Joan and Mark Lee have sold their cattle to Carl Donner and his wife Marissa, and the Donners are leasing their barn and equipment. Agweek's Jonathan Knutson explains how the unusual arrangement is benefiting everyone.
It's an axiom in Midwest agriculture that it's virtually impossible for a young person to get started in agriculture without help from an established farmer, usually a relative. We're on a dairy farm in northwest Minnesota that's proven an exception to the rule.
Nice to give someone younger the opportunity to be able to milk cows if they want to. There's not many people out there that want to anymore.
For someone to just go to the bank and try and get a loan for a farm, land, cows, everything, it doesn't quite work like that. You need to have experience, and if you're dairy, you need to get cows, work through the years to buy them. Then that opens up opportunities later in your life where once you get them paid for, you can get your own farm or buy land.
It's wonderful to see the next generation have the love and the passion for agriculture.
You know, somebody's got to feed the world, so why not me? Nice to just do the legacy that my great-grandparents started, and my grandparents and my dad, and they just passed that love on.
Mark and Joan continue to live in their house on the farm. The Donners live about 20 miles away. Mark continues to raise crops and forage on the family farm. He sells most of it to the Donners to feed their 29 dairy cows. Well, we'd like to say hi and welcome our Alexandria and Wilmer, Minnesota viewers who are catching us now on Cool TV. Thanks for joining us. For all your ag news and to get a copy of our magazine, go to agweek.com. We'll see you next Sunday.